Hey everybody, with this one we're going to look at, I would say it's a little bit easier than some of the other solos we've looked at. There's still some tough stuff, but I thought I'd take it down a notch and teach a little slower one here for this lesson. So this one is, it's Sublime Santeria. And now let's take a look at the chords before we dive into the solo. So this one, it's in the key of E. So that's our first chord. These aren't actually the voicings he's playing, I'm just kind of telling what the chord progression is. It's E, G sharp, C sharp, and then B. So now let's kind of talk about what's going on here. So we've got the one chord, home bass as I like to think of it. Then we've got G sharp. Now this one is not in the key of E. What's going on with this is it functions as the 5 chord of the next chord that follows. So it's called a secondary dominant. You can think of it as 5 of the 6th chord in the key of E. And then we've got our 5 chord in E, which, as you might expect, takes us back to home again. So in terms of scales, when you see a progression like this, all of the chords except for that oddball G sharp, you can use E major or E major pentatonic over, since pentatonic is just a subset of major, so all those same notes are in that scale. Now over this chord, we have this kind of oddball note that's outside of the key. So you want to keep that in mind when you hit that chord, that you need to kind of accommodate that change of that note in there if you choose to play that note over that line. So you don't want to be landing and nailing this C sharp over this chord, because it's going to sound really bad. So just keep that in mind. So now let's look at the solo and the licks. So here's the first phrase. So the first over the E chord, just major pentatonic. And then over the next chord. So you can hear he's doing a really nice job of highlighting the important resolutions in the chord progression. That resolution between this note to that note in the chord progression really creates a nice melodic line there. So then next we've got some more pentatonic craziness. Is the next idea. So this rhythm's kind of strange. We've got or just anyway the way that the slurs kind of go across the beats. It's kind of an awkward thing to feel. I would just kind of, try to maybe not think so much about the rhythm, but just audiate how that lick goes in your head. You might have an easier time. Or, email me for the notation and look at it that way. So real slow. Again slow. Alright, now here's the next idea. Sorry, a little mistake there. That's the way it goes, real slow. So let's talk about that. It's over the B chord now, and so what he's doing are kind of these little chunks of pentatonic with a chromatic note in the center of it. So that's 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Then we've got 4, 5, 6. Then we have 4, 6 on string 3. And then we've got this E note here, followed by a unison on the high E string. Now that might have been kind of a happy accident they left on the recording. That would be my guess. I'm guessing maybe he was going for something like that, and it ended up coming out like something like that. either way sounds great. I'm just kind of speculating in case it's interesting to you. So the next lick, we've got some more major pentatonic. We're back to the E chord. So that's the phrase. Now, moving on, or actually I'll kind of talk about maybe some of the rhythmic stuff. Again, we've got 16th notes combined with 16th note triplets. And this bend hits on, it's the E of 4. So a lot of the times these bends and important notes come in on, not on the downbeats of the measure, but right after to give it that kind of syncopation. Alright, now we're into kind of the home stretch here, and we've got some double stop licks. So is the final phrase. So these double stops happen here at fret 11, and what's going on is the third string goes up a full step, and the second string only goes up a half step. So you get that kind of a sound. And I personally, I can't do this with my third finger. A lot of people like to, though, but that's not going to work for me. So I like to do third and fourth fingers. So at first we've got, it bends up, comes back down, and back up again without picking. And then we've got a C sharp minor arpeggio. And you want to let those notes ring together. And it's in a 8th note triplet rhythm. So that one goes up and comes back down. And then what we have is it's called a pre-bend and release. So we're bending the note up first before we even pick it. And then let it come back down. And then we've got... So at the end there, he's doing a pinch harmonic on that F sharp note. Maybe to add a little attention to the end of this solo. Alright, so now let's go back all the way through it. I'll play the whole solo at tempo, and then maybe a little bit slower. Alright, here we go. 2, ready, go. So maybe that was a little bit below tempo, but anyways, it's in the neighborhood. So I'll try to play. This is really slow already, so 2, ready, go. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. I'm Matt Brown, and this is Santeria, the solo by Sublime. Thanks a lot.